Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is kind of a chatty video today because it needs to get done. Time's got away from me. Do you know what that's like? So yeah, I need to catch up on a couple of things here. Let me get my camera adjusted. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. Hey, it's Tina with Life in the Piedmont. Welcome back to my channel. This is actually an open collaboration, and it's hosted by Bushcraft Family, and this is about your prepping library. What types of books do you have in a prepping library, or survival library, I should say, as well? So Jan over at Simply Jan Homestead tagged me a couple weeks ago, and I was supposed to get it done, and life just happened, but I'm gonna get it done today. So I wanted to share with you some of my books that I consider my prepping library that I think are important to have on hand in any situation. I also think that I can add to this too. I don't think it's, anything, out of the ordinary that I have, but maybe it's something that you didn't think of that maybe you could add to your library. So let me get started. One of my very first books I'm gonna share for like my prepping or just being prepared, I think is really important to know. And these are skills that I've taught myself over like the last year to 2 years that I felt that was important to have. And it's not that I'm gonna use these skills on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, but I have the knowledge in my head and I know how to do it if I'm in need of doing it. So one of the first books I'd like to share with you is about simple and natural soap making. And I think it's important that you just learn the skill. I found it to be relaxing. I actually enjoy making soap for the home. I'm selling it now. And so I like this book because it is so simple with very simple recipes, which is one of the reasons why I like it. This book tells you exactly like how many grams. I can't really share everything, but let me show you, like, do you see how it just tells you the lye? It tells you how much lye and that to put in there. And it's just like reading a recipe as if you were cooking or baking. I think of it as when I'm baking, 1 cup, a half a cup. And then this just breaks it down like that, and it gives you lots of different ways to make soap by adding different scents and oils and that type of thing. So this is one of my go-to prepping. My other one is, I think it kind of goes hand in hand, and there's one in here I didn't pull out for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I know this one that I'm going to share with you has it in there, and this is called Be Your Own Doctor, and this has recipes for a lot of different things. This doesn't take place over seeing a doctor, but I can go to it, and it talks about when you're having respiratory difficulty, different types of things that you can do to help. It also has recipes in the back to make different types of tonic tinctures and that. So she has a couple of them out. One is Be Your Own Pediatrician, and I think she has a second book. So that's another prepping book. I also think it's really important to have a recipe book of recipes that you have that, oh look, some of Grandma's recipes are falling out. See, my grandma's recipes are falling out, but I think this is just a great, there goes some more, a great way to be prepared. Put your most important recipes that you cook or bake with in here, and you should definitely have one of those. And as you can see, I have recipes that I need to recopy. For instance, this one here, you can see like it gets wet, and so it's hard to read the measurements. I haven't done this yet, but this is on my list as a skill to learn, and I think it's important that we should learn how to make cheese. Why not, right? It's just another skill to have. I do have everything for it. I just have not got to it yet. So maybe over the summertime when school's out, I will be able to read through this a little bit more and bring you along as I make cheese. Also, this is just one of my canning books. I think it's very important to have your canning books with you Doesn't matter what one you have. This is an old one that I found at a thrift store, and I think it's important in your prepping to have a canning book. I also am a subscriber to Backwards Home Magazine, and so I do not throw these away because this has a lot of great recipes. It has tips in here on how to not just can, but like how to care for your flock. It also will show you just how to basically prep yourself and how to use different things around your house that you have or on your property. So if you haven't subscribed, maybe you should. I think there's like 50% off right now. I don't have a code or anything, but I really enjoy reading these when they come. And then this was my big, huge find. I've shared this before, but I love this prepping book. This has everything in it that you could need to know. It is a practical guide, as it says, to simple living. There's nothing simple about living a life of a homesteader, a farmer. It's hard work. There's always something that has to be done. But what I like about this is, let me show you. It talks about the different types of flowers and the pollinators. It also gives you plans to like build certain things. It gives you recipes. It also has some apothecary recipes in there too for like tinctures or for salves and everything like that. And that's to me very important to have actually in your library or on hand. So that's something that maybe if you don't have the books, but maybe you watch the videos of mine and other people, there's recipes that maybe you should jot those recipes down and keep them in a recipe book. That's kind of what I plan to do. So for whatever the case is, if this is all I need to bring, because I have recipes all written in there, then I'm good to go. So with all that being said, that is my prepping library. I could add more, but I'm not going to. But if I had to choose what I thought was the most important ones, I would have to say my Big Country Wisdom book and a recipe book and a canning book. I think those are really important things. And any first aid, that Be Your Own Doctor. I think those are the most important books to have. So I am gonna call out a couple of friends. Maybe they'll do it, I'm not sure. But I am gonna call out Susan at the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm gonna call out Heather over at Milk and Honey Heritage Farm. And I'm gonna call out Adrian over at the Backyard Gardener. I'd like to see your prepping library. So that's it for this video, friends. I will see you on the next one. Have a great day. Be blessed.